In this video, I'm going to look at the BankAccount Lab. The goal of this lab is to create a class that models a bank account. The bank account class is fairly simple. It has two properties: a string variable that stores the name of the account owner and a double variable that stores the current balance of the account. These two fields, or instance variables, are what describe a bank account. The bank account class should have the following: two instance variables or fields, a string for the name, and a double for the balance. So I'm going to go over to my coding screen. I have created a class called BankAccount, and now I'm going to add those two instance variables. So a string for the name and, was it a double? A double for the balance. Perfect. Next, number 2 says a constructor has two parameters, string n and double val. The constructor should initialize the fields to the values of the parameters. So to create a constructor, we'll say public bank account, and in the parameter list we'll take in a string n, that'll be for the name, and a double val for the balance. And these parameters are going to be used to initialize the instance variables like so. So balance will take on the value of val. Make sure that you get the order correct. You want name on the left and n on the right. If you switch these and get them backwards, then the instance variables will not be initialized correctly. Next, number 3, public void deposit. It takes in a double for the amount. This method doesn't return anything and has one double variable parameter. The parameter represents the amount of money that will be added to the bank account's balance field. Okay, so this is public. It returns void, and we're going to deposit some amount of money. So double AMT is going to be for amount. And we want to increase the balance, not just set the balance. So we want the balance modified, but we're going to add to it the amount passed in as the parameter. So that should be it for the deposit, really simple. And the method returns void, so there's no reason to have a return statement. Next, number 4, public void withdraw, double amount. This method doesn't return anything, but has a double variable parameter. The parameter represents the amount of money that will be withdrawn from the account's balance field. So it'll return void. It's called withdraw. We pass in the double amount, and we're going to reduce the balance by that amount. So I can use minus equals and the amount. So spell withdraw correctly. There we go. Right, so our class is complete. Next, what we're going to write is a new class called BankAccount Runner. And this has the main, and inside the main method, you should create 3 new bank account objects. Initialize the bank account objects with whatever names and values you want. So here's an example of what that looks like, and I will need to make that class. Let me pull up. I'm just using this folder for my project, so you can add a class as you see fit in your IDE. So this is going to be Bank Account Runner. This will have a main. There's my main method, and inside of this is called client code because it's going to be a client of the bank account class, meaning it's going to use the bank account class. So bank account bank1 equals new bank account. I'm going to give the first bank account to Alice, and she is going to have $1,000. I'm going to give the second bank account to Bob, and he will have $2,000. And the last bank account will go to Ada in to represent Ada Lovelace. She's known as the first programmer. So I've created these 3 accounts. All right, let's go to the next steps. Use the bank account objects you created to solve the following problems. Using if statements, print the balance of the bank account object that has the largest amount of money. If you're crafty, you can do this in one line without if statements. I'm going to be crafty because we know how to use math.max. So largest amount, just making sure. So in here, I'm going to ask for the maximum between bank 1 dot balance. That's how I access the balance of a particular account. Bank 2 dot balance. And then I'm going to compare that to whatever this returns. I'm going to compare. I want to go up here. That'll return the largest of those 2 accounts. But if I add another call to max, I can compare it with bank 3 dot balance and add another closing curly bracket, not a curly bracket, another closing parenthesis at the end. So this right here will give me the greater of the bank account balance between bank account 1 or bank account 2. And then this gives me the result of what's largest between bank account 3 and the larger of these other 2 bank accounts. So this should return 3,000. Good. Okay, for number 2, get the value of the double variable called amount from the keyboard. Using the withdraw method, remove an amount from the balance of one account and print the new balance of that account. Okay. This is going to involve a scanner. I'm going to capture a double. But I do need to prompt. Enter an amount to withdraw. Okay. So I need to first, before printing, I need to take this out of Alice's account. So that's bank1 dot withdraw, and we're going to take out the amount that whoever typed in, the user typed in, and then we need to print the account balance for bank account number 1. Let's take out $50. So her account is now $950. Number 3 says get the value of a double variable called balance and a string variable called name from the keyboard. Build a new bank account object using the value from these variables as the constructor's parameters and print its name and balance to ensure it works. Okay, we'll go back over to our code. We want to, let me close this. We want to capture somebody's name. I'll just assume it's a single name. And then I will capture a balance. This will be a double. And I will construct my bank account. I'll call this one bank 4. And I'm going to pass in name and val. These variables that I'm using here are just local variables. You can see when I click on name, this one highlights. If I click on balance, this highlights. These do not have to be the same as the parameter names given in the constructor parameter list. The account of name, let's see, let's use the variables bank4.name as a balance of bank4.balance. Very nice. Let's run this code. Now this is the amount we're withdrawing from Alice's account. Let's withdraw $300. That should leave $700 for Alice. Let's create one for, oh, I can't seem to think of a name. Let's choose Joseph. And Joseph has $10,000 in his account. And there it says. It says the account of Joseph has a balance of $10,000. And that completes the lab. Let me show this class and then I'll show the other class. And here's the bank account class.